In last lecture, we have started with philosophical background of BTPB. In that, we discussed about how Dr. Poning Hussain, he gave importance to complete symptom as well as how he introduced many new doctrines to homeopathy. So according to Dr. I will revise in short. According to Dr. Poning Hussain, repertory means to end and never an end itself, because for final selection of medicine we have to refer our materia medica for selecting the exact simillimum from group of similars after repertorization, because after proper repertorization we get group of similar medicines, and from that we have to select the simillimum. So this is the tool to get similar group of remedy. So it is said that repertory is means to end and never and end itself. It is the bridge of knowledge between physician and chronic disease or patient. Then as the parts are lying loose on the shelves, on the floor, on the workman's bench, it is not called as a machine. Different parts of machines, when they are lying at different places, then it is not called as a machine. But when we arrange these parts in a proper way, when we combine these parts in proper way, then we said it have some individuality, and we can able to give it a proper some name as some machine. So in the same way, in our human body also, different parts they are assembled according to definite plan or idea, and so that each individual is made up of different part, and these parts are assembled properly, so our machine, our body is working properly. And when we arrange or when we assemble all the parts in proper way of machine, then it give individuality to the machine, as different types of machines, different types of utensils, electronic utensils we are using. So it give individuality. In the same way, when we take the proper history of the patient, then we get the individuality of that patient. When the person becomes sick or diseased, then the inner man of the vital force, it become passive. And when the it does not obey, it does not follow the commands which are given by human being or inner force, but the command, it follow the command of inimical influence, it follow the command of disease. And we have to find out what is disease, we have to find out what is sick, and these symptoms we considered as a symptom of disease or signs and symptoms. So totality, it is most important thing to find out, and while forming the totality according to Dr. Poning Hussain, we have to give importance to complete symptom. So while constructing totality, we take each and every symptom as a complete symptom. Means for each and every symptom we have to for each and every symptom we take it as a complete symptom. Means the symptom can complete with its location, sensation, modality as well as concomitants. Then he introduced many doctrines to homeopathy. We have started with some of those doctrines in the last lecture, and one of that is doctrine of analogy. This was introduced by Dr. Poning Hussain because according to his concept, according to his principle that everyone should take every symptom as a complete symptom, but practically it was very difficult to do so, and so he said that what is true to the part is also true to the whole of the person, and he introduced this new doctrine that is called as doctrine of analogy. According to doctrine of analogy, according to Boning-Hussein's analytical mind, he came to the conclusion that to complete the symptom, many times in some cases, in some symptoms of the person, we cannot get the modalities or we cannot get the sensations. Then at that time, to complete that symptom, the local modalities and sensations pertaining to one part should also be applied to other parts. Means he raised the local symptoms to a general level which could be used for the whole person. Okay, means if the person is suffering from 3 to 4 symptoms and in 2 symptoms only we get the modalities, then we have to consider the modality of one part as a whole person's modality, and we have to complete each and every symptom by considering that modality as whole person's modality. He introduced this doctrine of analogy into the field of homeopathy in general and into the field of repertorization in particular. And his book, his work, that is Therapeutic Pocket Book, it was also based on this concept. That means grand generalization. It is also called as grand generalization because in this concept, while following this doctrine of analogy, we have to follow the concept that what is true to the part is also true to the whole person. So it is called as also called as doctrine of grand generalization. And he said that, or while studying the incomplete symptom in materia medica and comparing them with other complete symptom in record of the drug, Boning Hussain came up to this concept, and he surprisingly found that many sensations, many modalities, while the person was suffering from or person is having complaints from different locations, then also many modalities and sensations they have similar pattern. So in his mind, this concept of grand generalization or this concept of doctrine of analogy, it came and he applied this concept to complete each and every symptom. Then we discuss about doctrine of concomitant. As concomitant symptoms, they doesn't have any direct pathological relation to the main complaint, but these symptoms are very much important because they are helpful, or they individualize the patient, they individualize the medicine. So before this doctrine of concomitant, or these symptoms are called as concomitant symptom by Dr. Boning Hussain. But before Dr. Boning Hussain's time, these symptoms are also observed by Dr. Hahnemann, and he said these symptoms as PQRS symptoms, that is peculiar, rare, uncommon symptoms, which Dr. Boning Hussain said it as a concomitant symptom. So these concomitant symptoms, many times it was overlooked by patient as well as unnoticed by physician while taking the case because of inadequate observation of the physician. But these symptoms are very much important because they individualize the patient, and they help us to find out the exact simillimum. So, doctrine of concomitant symptom, this was also introduced by Dr. Boning Hussain. He gave more importance to concomitant symptoms. Then doctrine of grand symptom. The grand symptom, which consists of three factors, that is location, sensation, and modalities. In location sensation, as we discussed in complete symptom, all the things is same, as well as in modalities also we considered all these things, that is in location, which part, which organ or which tissue is involved in disease process. Then under sensation, type of pain, type of sensation, functional or organic changes characterizing the morbid process we have to consider. Then under conditions of aggravation and amelioration, we have to consider all the aggravations and ameliorations related to that symptom. Then he introduced doctrine of complete symptom. In complete symptom, grand symptom plus concomitants, because as concomitant symptoms, they are very much helpful for finding out the similar remedy, for finding out the simillimum. So he introduced that doctrine of concomitant symptom, and then he introduced the doctrine of complete symptom. That means while taking the case, we have to take each symptom as complete symptom, means not only grand symptom, not only location, sensation, modalities, but also we have to give importance to concomitants while taking the history of each and every symptom. Then evaluation of remedy. Boning Hussain, as we know that Dr. Boning Hussain, he first time introduced the concept of gradations. Before his time, no other physician introduced the concept of gradations to the medicine. Many drugs produced the same type of symptom, but he noticed the difference in frequency and intensity in the appearance of the symptoms. there is difference in its intensity. Suppose there is headache, morning headache. So for morning headache, there are many medicines, but the intensity in one medicine is different and in other medicine it is different. So according to their intensity during drug proving, how much intensity the patient is giving the symptom, according to that intensity, according to how much provers they gave the symptom after that drug proving, according to that, as well as according to the practical use after practical clinical application of that medicine, how many patients get recovered with that symptom. So considering all these things, Dr. Poning Hussain, he gave 5 grades, or he introduced 5 different grades to the medicines. And this innovation of grading of the drug he indicated in terms of 5 ranks by different typography. How we can understand which medicine, for which medicine there is which medicine is how much important in that symptom. So for easy understanding, he has written that medicine in different typography, in different 5 types of typography, and the typography is 5 mark medicines. They are written in capital letters, that is called as first grade medicines. Then the second grade medicine or 4 mark medicines, they are written in bold. When you go through the repertory, you have found that different medicines, they are written in front of rubrics in different way. Some are capital, some are bold, some are written in italic, some are written in Roman, some are written in Roman in parentheses. So according to their importance, they are written in different typography. So 5 mark medicines, they are written in capital letters. 4 mark or second grade medicines, they are written in bold letters. 3 mark or third grade medicines, they are written in italic. 2 mark or fourth grade medicine, they are written in Roman. And 1 mark or fifth grade medicines, they are written in Roman in parentheses. So in this way, when you go through repertory, you get this type of typography. The medicines are written in this way, means the 5 mark or first grade medicines, very important medicine for that symptom. We found it was written in capital. Then 4 mark in capital, 4 mark medicines, they are written in bold. 3 mark in italic. 4 mark, sorry, extremely. 5 mark medicines, they are written in capital. 4 mark medicines, they are written in bold. 3 mark medicines, they are written in italic. 2 mark medicines, they are written in Roman. And 1 mark medicine, they are written in Roman in parentheses. So in this way, Dr. Hahnemann, he gave 5 ranks to the medicines, and the first grade medicines, or under first grade medicine, what is the criteria we discussed earlier? Again, we in short discuss under first grade or the capital medicines which are written, the medicines included under first grade, they are or in that medicine, symptom appeared prominently in most of the provers during drug proving. So in most of provers gave that symptom during drug proving. So it has given the 5 marks, or it has given first grade in the repertory. Then the second grade medicines, they include medicines in which symptoms appeared in majority of provers during drug proving. In first grade medicine, most of the provers they gave symptom. The second grade medicine, majority of provers they gave the symptom. Then the third grade medicine includes medicines in which symptom appeared in moderate number of provers during drug proving. Then in fourth grade medicines, it include the medicines in which symptom appeared only in few of the provers during drug proving. And the fifth grade medicines or 1 mark medicines, or the medicines which are written in parentheses, and the fifth grade medicines, they are under it include the medicines in which symptom found rarely and are verified in clinical work only. So in this way, Dr. Poning Hussain, he introduced the 5 grades to the medicines. Then the next doctrine, that is doctrine of concordance. This doctrine was also first time introduced by Dr. Hahnemann to homeopathy. So what is concordance? Concordance is nothing but relationship of remedy. Poning Hussain's keen observation noticed, after his keen observation, his keen observant mind, it noticed that a relationship existed among a medicine. There is definitely some relationship amongst the medicine, because after giving some medicine, after the first one, there are some changes, the good changes or some bad changes, it may we may found. So he observed that, he noticed that there is definitely some relationship existed among the medicine, and so he added a separate chapter in therapeutic pocket book towards the end. In the earlier edition of the book, he referred to this chapter as Concordance of Remedy. The name for this chapter was Concordance of Remedy, but later on, the Dr. Allen, he gave it a more comprehensible title, that is Relationship of Remedy. This chapter discusses about the relationship of medicine under different body parts with aggravation, then antidote, inimical. Dr. Robert, he write on this relationship of remedy that some remedies they play role in harmony with others. Some are neutral after the first medicine, some are inimical after the first medicine, and the most similar ones are the nothing but the complementary remedies. They follow each other very well, then they make up for the deficiencies of the others. They antidote each other's bad effects. So in this way, he described many type of relationship between the remedies. The complementary remedies, these remedies are nothing but the remedies which complete the process of cure initiated by the previous remedy and is said to have a complementary relation to the former. Some remedies relieve complaints once or twice. Extremely sorry, due to network issue, the lecture get disconnected. So many times the relationship which can be acute complementary to the chronic or chronic complementary to the acute remedy. Then the antidotal remedies. Then antidotal remedies, it means the remedy which counteract the excessive action or bad effect of the remedy which was prescribed earlier. And it is said to have an antidotal relationship with that earlier remedy. If we have selected for a case of disease an unsuitable remedy which has done no good to the disease, but on the contrary, developed a number of its own symptoms. Means it does not cure or it does not remove the previous condition, it does not able to remove the previous condition, but in additional it produces its own symptoms. And when we take the fresh history, we retake the history of the patient, then we get in the addition of the original symptoms of the patient is having some new symptoms, and these symptoms are nothing but the medicinal symptoms which we have given, we have prescribed previously to the patient. And select our next remedy or antidote from the entire morbid picture which was thus formed. The antidotal influence of the medicine on one another depends solely on the homeopathic principle. The rationale of the administration of antidote in case of overaction of any drugs seem to be stronger but transient, and a different effect is produced upon the nerves from where, or at different parts from where we get the impression of the medicines which was given previously. Our nervous system is speedily restored to its former equilibrium, so that these are